don't know about y'all, but watching this episode really made me want a goddamn Jolly Rancher. Didn't it look good? I don't have a Jolly Rancher, but I do have this hard candy. I do have this ring pop. I don't know if, that's good, but it's missing, the tears, snot bubble, desperation, withdrawals. Zendaya was acting her ass off in this episode. Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss Euphoria. Now this is season 2 episode 6 already. Now before I get into everything that happened in this episode, because boy it was a lot, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that, and then we're going to come back and discuss all things. Shout out to the people in the back who said that they were starting to feel sorry for Nate. We remember that.
Go back.
Now that you guys have hopefully subscribed to me, let's get into this episode. We pick up where we left off. Rue made it home and she is absolutely dope sick. She looks horrible and she is going through those withdrawals. And we see her trying to restrain, and I mean restrain really fucking hard from eating a Jolly Rancher. I mean, come on now. The snot bubble, cramps, sweats, uncomfortable mannerisms of it all. Zendaya was acting her ass off here, portraying a real drug addict going through those symptoms. Clearly here she is trying really hard to kick, and that Jolly Rancher is resisting the urge to do drugs, but also forgiving herself. You see very much this episode, she has a mirror held up to her face and she is finally speaking and thinking from a sober mind, and thinking about all those things that she said, not only to her mom, not only to Gia and Jules, but most of all, surprisingly, she is really regretting what she said to Ali. It's like, I have been where Ali is. I had no right to judge him and throw the pain and things that he suffered via his drug addiction in his face. I know how that feels firsthand. I need to make sure I call and apologize to him and see if he forgives me. Now, this is the first time in a long time that we have actually gotten to see just plain old sober Rue. We haven't seen sober Rue all this season, and it takes a lot for her to muster up the courage to apologize to Ali. And of course, Ali being Ali, like, I've been here, girl. I know what this is. Of course, I forgive you. But what really takes me back here is when she goes, how do you know I mean it? I really like the fact that here we are, especially via Ali. That's why I was waiting since last episode for him to get included. Like, where is Ali? Where is someone who knows how to deal with this? We see her mother here very much being mom. She is always full of support and love for Rue. She's there, watching her back, wiping her nose, helping her go through these symptoms. All the while, we are anticipating getting her into rehab so she can really get the help she needs. But I'm never going to leave her side. I'm never going to speak negatively of this situation. I'm never going to have Rue feel like I love her any less. I'm solely here for support. We are very much going to get into Ali here, really holding a mirror up to their whole situation. It's not always about just solely being supportive and not being negative. You really have to come to terms with what this situation is, and her being an addict, and certain things that she needs to hear and other things that she needs to hear also. You can't just coddle her and give her a warm bath and rub her back all the time. We need the other shit too. I just absolutely love Ali's energy this whole entire episode. everybody get the fuck out of the kitchen, especially you, Rue, and your mother. Go take a break. Realize what's really going on here. I'm not just coming over here and having a picnic and cooking a little dinner. This is not a fun scenario. She is an addict, and sometimes you need to treat her as such. You need to look past her, you know, being your daughter and you loving on her a certain way. We also need to handle the bad things that come along with her being an addict. How this has affected the whole family. How this has affected your other daughter, Gia. I love when he tells you, you know, come in the kitchen, let's cook, let's talk, let's share. It's okay for you to feel like you're mad at her. You can tell her those things. She needs to hear those things just as much as you hear the, oh, it's gonna be okay, Rue. Oh, we're here to support you. Oh. That's all cute too. But she needs to know what this is doing to you guys. Every single moment where Gia decides to express herself and spew anything other than, Rue, we love you, we're here to support you, her mother shuts her down. Anytime she shows any interest in, you know what, I'm tired of looking for Rue. I'm tired of, you know, giving her chances, giving her energy to the situation. I'm just tired in general. I might just want to focus on some Gia shit. Her mother shuts her down. You need to be this way. You need to act this way. Don't do anything less than support your sister. And Ali said, no, get that shit the fuck out of here. Y'all go over there with that. Let Gia express herself. And you need to express yourself too. Now, when we get over to Nate Jacobs' house, I was completely on the floor at how ecstatic everyone was that he was gone. Like, there is just this sense of like, oh, this weight has been lifted off of our shoulders, all of this freedom. Nate is walking around like he won a prize. Like, what exactly did you win, Nate? Even though you have all of this hatred for your father, what exactly is the prize here? Marsha, on the other hand, I always felt like she knew what was going on and she was just complacent and comfortable with the situation and never put the things that Cal was doing in his face. But I feel like she knew. So when he was just like, no, fuck it, looks like, oh God, finally, I have not felt this much freedom since my high school days when I was out here thotting and bopping, riding people's face, getting my life, being hot as fuck. I miss that Marsha. Marsha's in the kitchen. No, you're never gonna get it. Getting her in Vogue life. We have never heard Marsha speak this much. Season 2, we are finally getting some Marsha. Usually she's, you know, to the side, she's quiet, she doesn't seem very opinionated, but this entire time, Marsha has been listening and watching everything. But that's both a good and bad thing here in this episode, because it's just like, if Cal wouldn't have blew up the spot, you would have continued to ignore everything that you clearly saw in your son way back from 8 or 9 when we had that change happen in him because he found his dad's collection of discs. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I knew this. I never liked Maddie. She's the type of chick to do this way. Whereas, you know, the blonde girl, you feel like she sees herself in Cassie and, you know, like she has all this knowledge and all this shit to drop, all these seeds to drop all over the place. Where you been, Marsha? Talking about you never fooled me for 1 second. I knew you choked Maddie. I love the way you hemmed her up at the carnival that one time. I was like, way to go, son. I know that there's some darkness in you. There's a big part of you that we just don't know about. I recognize that change. Like, where have you been? Where have you been? You were so comfortable laying low and sleeping under Cal this entire time. Now that he's gone, she's all vindicated and free, ready to go live her best teenage life. I am absolutely here for it. I love that all of these people are having these revelations, even if it's Cal and even if it's Marsha, but it's just like, wow. This maybe would have benefited your son a whole lot sooner. You see how comfortable they are to share and talk. Nate doesn't have any more friends. McKay is long gone. Nobody talks to him anymore. All he has is this secret rendezvous this season that he's had with Cassie. Nobody fucks with Nate, and for good reason. You could have been that voice of reason this entire time. Maybe if you had pride a little bit sooner, he would have shared. I was really hoping at that moment he would go, because she knows pretty much everything, but I don't think she knows about that disc in that collection. But it's just like, yeah, I'm just not ready to share that yet. But at some point in time, if you would have acted a little earlier, we may have gotten a different Nate. But now, since everybody was complacent and comfortable and wait until this very moment to go, oh, I've been withheld and I want to be free and I'm leaving and I'm about to live my best life, it's too late for Nate, because he's a fucking psycho. Unlike your other son, Aaron, who is completely out of the loop and y'all taking whole pure enjoyment out of calling him aloof, he's dumb, he's stupid. Like, damn, Marshall was cracking up. Like, he is a little slow. Just fuck the other son. Now we also have Maddie here. I was so like, Maddie, what the hell are you waiting for? You see her on the phone, keying with Kat and shit, and it's just like, yeah, this happened. I want to fuck Cassie up. I could kill her. I'm just so upset, and I have a few things underneath my sleeve. And you were freaking delusional to think that Nate didn't know about that this whole time. The moment that bomb dropped and you had some tea of your own to expose, you should have did that shit right away. You see her thinking and rubbing her hands and shit together like the pinky in the brain and woo ha ha ha. Girl, we don't have time for that. We do not have time for you to be Dr. Evil. If you was gonna drop that shit, you should have dropped it. And she didn't. And we saw what happened in the end. Now, speaking of keying on the phone with Kat, I really like damn near forgot about Kat. Kat has been practically obsolete this season. We did, share a moment with Kat in the beginning, when the images were popping up and it was the whole social media and you seeing certain things on your timeline and affirmations for you to be a certain way. It's not, I'm not that, I'm insecure. I'm so insecure at this point with myself and unhappy that it's making me not want my very great, precious, cute, gorgeous, whatever boyfriend, Ethan. Cool. We didn't really go too many places with that, and they have really been dragging it out how she feels about Ethan, and I just really fucking hate Ethan. I just really don't want to be with him. We get to this episode, and her solution to that is to tell him that she is terminally ill and there's this brain damage happening and you can't look it up, and I got 2 days to live and we gotta break up for that reason. Ma'am, I am not feeling Kat's storyline. I thought that shit was just absolutely ridiculous. And ridiculous is saying a lot concerning Euphoria, because Euphoria can go all out there. But her whole storyline this season, I am just not interested. I was like, can we please get back to something important? I really like the fact that Ethan was like, okay, I'm a little slow, but I'm not that goddamn slow. You are not going to sit here in my face and tell me that you were terminally ill and I shouldn't be concerned, and for this reason we should break up. She's trying to gaslight him and project, and well, if you want to break up with me and if you're not believing me, like, girl, stop while you're ahead, Kat. This is the best route that you could think to go to get rid of Ethan. I was with Ethan. Get the fuck out of my face. And personally, the character Kat can get the fuck out of my face, because this is absolutely not what I expected. Kat was such a big part of the first season, and we followed her and her growth and all that good stuff. Dumbass Cassie. I'm just a fucking kid and I got a big ass head. I'm always crying. I'm Cassie. Like, Cassie, get out of my face. Cassie is just so aggravating. I'll tell you one thing about the writing of Cassie's character. They're not letting up. They're not letting annoying ass Cassie, being annoying ass Cassie, take her foot off our necks at no point in these episodes. She is just as, or if not more, annoying every single episode. She is blowing up his phone and immediately shows where her loyalties lie, where her mind is. She is not calling to apologize or trying to salvage any friendship that she could possibly have with Maddie. She is solely focused on Nate, calling him 100 and more times, and it's everybody else's fault except for Cassie. They got the mama on high alert. I love how attentive the mother has been. It's like, girl, hide these knives, give me this corkscrew. She will harm herself. We just like, Lex is like, come on, no, put it in the fucking bushes. We're talking about Cassie here. She's off her rocker. She needs a fucking exorcism. Hide him in the bush. Like, Cassie has a one-track mind, and it's all leading to Nate. And anybody trying to tell her about herself can just get out of her face. Cassie still at this moment is holding on to, they weren't together, so I shouldn't be at fault. Girl, if you don't let that go, when your own mama in your face saying, no, bitch, you were at fault. Like, your own mama said, Cassie, you were outside. You are not a good girl. And that's okay. Accept that and move on. Just take accountability for something. No, they weren't together and I just don't know. Cassie is just like, she is really seeking validation in the fact that she's, that goody. We long established season 1, Kat, that you were not that girl, then it's okay. But as long as in her mind, she doesn't admit to anything, she's not at fault, Maddie is in the wrong and Nate should be hers, and everything in Cassie's La La Land is okay. Now, I did, however, even though she was throwing shade, like, how dare y'all, throw all these bricks on my back and act like I'm the worst motherfucker in the world when y'all so forgiving and forsaking with Rue, and you consider her situation to be different because she lost her dad. We lost our dad too. He's still alive, but I had to go through the trauma of him sneaking in here, getting drugs, all kind of shit. He's very absentee. How is my trauma any less than hers? Why does she get to be in the right? Like, and if you were smart, Lexi, you would have let her go a long time ago because she's a shitty fucking friend. I was like, okay, I'll let Cassie have 1 point for that. But I still suggest she calm the fuck down before she has a whole brain aneurysm, because Cassie is just, every time we see her, she's flushed, she's crying, the dramatics of it all. Calm down. Take a chill pill. She needs something for anxiety before she pops. But we do get to see Lexi come into her own this episode. She is very much feeling like, you know what, Cassie's being really extra. Having that play might not be the best idea, but I need to go get some validation. Before we get into where she got that validation from, we also have her have a revelation. You did this whole situation snitching on Fesco, talking to Cal, just because you happen to be falling in love with someone who trash talked you the entire first season of the show. Cassie, what is wrong with you? Don't you see what's going on? Don't you see him for what he truly is? What is happening with you? Well, I didn't know him. And Cassie has every excuse in the book as to why her being with Nate is an okay situation. He's different with her. I didn't do that. I don't remember that date. It's just every single episode you find more reasons not to like Cassie. I didn't like her before, but it's cool. I really don't like her ass now. Now we get into Lexi getting some comfort, some support, some push. Girl, you better have that damn play from Fesco. We finally get some time spent with those two. Like, it took long enough. They enticed us with their whole little dynamic. Episode 1. They gonna wait all the way to episode 6 for them to pretty much have a date. Them meeting up and, finding common interest, and the whole Stand By Me film and them watching it, having, a little fatty, a little blunt. That was a whole date, and we love to see it. We, and I'm speaking for everybody, because if you weren't Rudy for Fesco and Lexi, you were tripping. We were waiting for this moment, and it was so precious and so cute. And I think we all just enjoy the moments where we get to see Fesco as more than just, him selling drugs, him being wrapped up in other things. He has so many different aspects and attributes. He's such a sweet guy, and he deserves someone like Alexi, and she deserves him. So just to see the act, like they finally come together, it was very precious, and we got to see them saying Stand By Me. It was truly adorable. We loved it. Go on another one. Now, they absolutely did not give us 5 minutes to just long in the bliss of them actually having a date and Lexi and Fesco spending time together. They snatched that shit right back, because we have Faye go outside to this idiot who doesn't know the meaning of cooperation. That murder of Mouse is creeping back into the equation, and he goes on to tell Faye, I'm pretty much about to wear a wire. The cops are on to us. They know what's going on, but it wasn't you. It wasn't me. It was somebody in that house. I'm going to wear a wire, try to get Fesco to confess to that murder, and I don't want you nowhere near the situation. And you just have her kind of exit stage left and contemplate what she wants to do. Now, just like always, we always have Ashtray looming in the background. Now, there is no confirmation that he knows exactly what's going on or what he may not have heard, but Ashtray is always there. Say what you want, I love Fesco, but he does not really have that body, that ruggedness for what this game entails. He just want to be low-key and sell his drugs, but this was passed down to him from his grandmother. I feel like if he had an option, Fesco would have gone to school. He seems, well-versed. He has other interests outside of this. Ashtray, on the other hand, Ashtray is knee-deep in Reddit for this shit. He ain't trusting shit moving. He's always on high alert, always aware, always on top of shit. So I cannot wait to see what he heard and what he knows and what's gonna happen. Because Ashtray is always and forever about that fucking life. Now, after we have Rue say, well, there's Jules and Elliot, and it's just like, yeah, fuck that. I don't want to talk about that right now. Completely hilarious. But we'll get to them next episode. We skip to 2 things happening between Maddie and Nate, and their stories kind of intertwining as to what the next one's going to do first. We have Maddie. Then Maddie is very much kind of depressed, like, I think it was really sinking in, not only the betrayal of Cassie, but I think in the end she always felt like Nate was always in her back pocket. For me to, aspire to this greatness that I see when I'm babysitting, all these riches, this woman, this lifestyle, he's always going to be there. I'm always going to have some type of leverage, some type of control. He's always going to want me. And I also have this disc. I have the power. You also have Maddie here hanging out with the lady of the house, who I don't trust as far as I can throw her. Ever since she asked Maddie to unzip her dress, like, I don't know, she just makes me itch. I feel like if Maddie would go forward, she would try to push up on her. But maybe that's just me. But you have her seeing herself in not only Maddie, but Cassie, like, I was once you, I was once, dependent upon a certain thing, thought that I would never get married, thought that no one would have me, thought my life was just full of limitations. But everything here is very trivial. I was also on the other side. I slept with the best friend and lost people. And, just think about the decisions that you're making before you act. Everything right now is high school, college, whatever it is very trivial looking at the bigger picture. You're going to be okay. Like, you can go beyond what your circumstances are now. Chill the fuck out, Maddie. But on the other hand, we also have Nate. Nate, who has had a come to Jesus all morning with Marsha, just feels like, you know what? Everything is everything. My dad is out of the picture. But even though I hate him, I love the business that he does that would roll over to me. I don't need his name being mud and our family name being mud out here in these streets. This is still worth some money. Now what I need to do is get these discs and destroy them. But, Cal took that shit with him. Left a note, enjoy being the man of the house. Nigga, I'm out. Wow, Cal. Nobody's taking any accountability in this fucking show. Like, we ain't apologizing for Nathan. But in the other drawer, there's also a gun, because even though these discs are okay and they're gone, Maddie still has that other disc. Now, you study long, you study wrong, Maddie. Like, Maddie, out of all people, knowing Nate and all the deeds that they have committed solo and together, this is a sick person, whether you love him or not. The minute you decided to moo-hoo ha-ha-ha with that disc, it was 1 minute too late, because you came home and he was chilling in your fucking bedroom with a gun and decided to play Russian roulette with your life. Maddie gave some really good acting in that scene. I really loved it. You really felt for her, and it was just not only the fact that he was playing Russian roulette with her life with that gun, but it was just like, it's me, it's Maddie. Not in a control sense, because I always thought I would have some control over you as that one, but it's me. I once loved you. It's Maddie. You once loved me. How dare you threaten my life for a disc? Hello? It's just like, yeah, I'm not trying to hear that shit. Nate very much reminded us this episode that he is sick and he is a psycho. He is not far removed. Cal, doing what he's doing is not making a bit of difference. He is still willing to go to certain extents to get what he wants, including threatening Maddie's fucking life in her own home. Like, she looked so scared and he was so comfortable and just so sick, and it was like he was taking pleasure out of it. It was just so horrible to see Maddie just so hurt. You always see her so confident and self-assured, and it was just like at that moment she felt like she lost. And it was also like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? At that moment, I was really just feeling like, oh, she doesn't have the dish. She went and gave it to Jules. That would be the smart, the sensitive thing to do, because if you were to expose Cal, is exposing Jules, and you wouldn't want to do that because you do consider her a friend. She doesn't have it. It's with Jules. No. She utters, okay, it's in my purse. Excuse me? What you mean it's in your purse, man? You are willing to get capped out in here with crazy ass Nate, whether there were any bullets in the gun or not, for a disc, and it was in your purse, girl? If you don't give that shit up, that took me out. I was like, wow, man, you do have the disc. Like, you don't play with crazy people. You give them what they want and you back away. Nate is not the one. Stop. Now, we also have him continuing to be that master of manipulation. what is Nate's real agenda? We really don't know. Now, I did recognize in that conversation when he was talking to his mother, he didn't just pop off and say, I saw this disc, I saw this, because she's letting it be known that I always saw these things, in your dad. Don't make that mistake. Don't be with this type of girl. Be with this type of girl, a Cassie or a Maddie. Just be with the girl in general. And I don't feel like he's willing to drop everything and just show his whole self and what his sexuality may be or whatever it is. But at this moment with this disc, he made the conscious decision to return this disc to Jules. He could have destroyed it. Nobody would have known, she didn't know about the disc. But I wanted you to know that I thought enough of you in this situation to return it to you, to the proper person, because I care, because I'm sorry for anything I ever did to hurt you, whether you believe me or not. And all those nice, sweet, nothing text messages that I sent you as Tyler, I meant those. I meant every word. And for what it's worth, me too. Excuse me? What is going on here? What is going on here? All of the, the openness, I had a box cutter just in case I had to use it, and all what is happening, Jules? What is happening, Nate? You still have feelings for Jules. That is the only reason to give that disc to her, whether it was the right thing to do. Since when does Nate do the right thing? The only reason you would do that is to win some type of brownie points with her. Wow. We give her the disc. We gave her the disc. And then right after that, we called Cassie and said, get your stuff, boo. I love you. Nate Jacobs. Now, right after we leave, shorty, I'm here for you anytime you need me. For real, girl, it's me in your world. Believe me, nothing make a man feel better than a woman. Queen with a crown and be down for whatever. We leave that, you're all I need to get by. Was that for Jules or was that for Cassie? We may never know. But he not only calls her up and, pretty much it's over and done, everything is laid out, my situation is handled with Maddie, but Cassie comes out with bags. Cassie exits the home with bags and gives her mother the face yeah, I'm going with Nate and you can't stop me. Whatever you think about me and about this situation, I don't care. I'm with you going to have your little whatever rendezvous. Cassie looks like she moved the fuck in. And of course, Marsha is off. I was oh yes, that's the one I like. I love Cassie. She can stay all lay on up in here. Y'all can fuck. I can hear it next door and I can reminisce about, when it was me. Ma'am, what is happening here? What the hell is going on? But we end off this episode with Cassie putting up that fake ass fight. Oh, I hate you so much. I just get... Shut up, Cassie. Go lay down on your side of the bed. You're not going anywhere. And Nate knows that for sure. We get into Rue and that whole dinner. And I love that moment because we have somebody finally acknowledge that you need to be able to share certain things with Rue. Tell her how you feel about her sobriety and her getting clean. I love that it's in the forefront because it's not like Rue made the conscious decision to get help or surrender herself. Rue got caught. Rue got caught. And the aspects of her remaining sober or really wanting this or making the conscious decision to get clean and go to rehab, that's totally different outside of you getting caught and you having no choice in your family trying to help you. And it's just you need to tell her these things. Tell her something other than we love you and we're going to coddle you for her to really get her ass into gear to want to do this for herself. You can want it. Gia can want it. I can want it. But if she doesn't want this shit, it's just not going to happen and it's never going to be okay. And you have him tell the mom, you need to give that little one of yours, give her some love, give her some attention. She has been waiting. It's not all about Rue. Yes, finally. Thank you, Eileen. It is not all about Rue. It is not all about her. And I love the fact that you have Gia, if she wants to, it's good, but it's I'm not gonna hurt myself over this anymore. Any aspects of you being the way that you are control my life. You are my sister and I love you, but I want you to get clean, but if you don't, it's not gonna be the end of my world. We can't live our lives like this, Mom, and I should be able to share that as your other daughter. Now, when it really gets good is when those glasses in that same mirror is held up to the mother's face. You can totally see that throughout this entire episode. She is not really equipped to handle this. She is trying her best, but she is not so much, washing her hands of the situation, like, I don't want to deal with it, but it's also like, I know the solution to this. The solution is to get her where she needs to be right now up until she gets into rehab. Her going into rehab is going to handle this whole situation, which is why she's so comfortable with the rubbing of the back, and I don't want to speak any negativity into Rue and this and that. She still sees Rue as just her plain old daughter who needs some help, and not as the addict that she is. But the moment at the end of that episode when she breaks down and says, if my daughter doesn't get a bed, she's going to kill herself, like, we need to do something, please, please, please. Like, I think she really it really hit her, like, okay, yeah, if I can't just, relinquish her off and get her into a bed and get her into a rehab facility, I really have to deal with what this is, and I don't really think I'm prepared for that. I don't think I can help her the way that she needs to be helped. Like, yes, everybody purge this episode, get all of that stuff off your chest and get it out. So it's just like, well, damn, what am I supposed to do now? Well, you guys, that was my review for Euphoria Season 2, Episode 6. I hope you enjoyed it. I cannot wait for next episode. Every single episode is getting better than the last. Where the fuck is Cal? I would love to know what is going to happen with the case. Is Rue still going to owe that money? Who's going to help her? Is, Faye going to tell Fesco about the goddamn wire? It is so much to look forward to, and I am here for it. Please drop down and tell me what you thought about this episode and what you thought about my review. I look forward to reading your comments. I see you guys for my next video. Bye.